Imagine training your whole life to become strong, powerful enough to break boards, crush stone, and dominate any opponent. You feel safe inside your muscles, confident that nothing can touch you, but suddenly, life hits you somewhere your strength cannot reach, inside your mind. And in that moment, you realize the truth. Physical strength is not protection, it is a trap. I have seen fighters fall, not because their bodies were weak, but because their minds were unprepared. Strength can blind you, it feeds your ego, it makes you believe you cannot be broken until you are. That is why I said before I died, strength is the ultimate illusion. It can make you forget what truly matters: awareness, humility, stillness. True power comes from mastering yourself, not overpowering others. This is the lesson most people never learn, but if you understand it, you will become unstoppable. Be like water, my friend. 1. The illusion of control. You believe that strength gives you control over situations, over people, and over life itself. But this belief is only a mask. Beneath it lies a simple truth: control is an illusion. The moment you begin to think you are untouchable simply because you are strong is the very moment you start to lose. Life will always move faster than your muscles can grow. It will shift in unexpected directions, bringing changes no physical power can prevent. You may think you are prepared, but life changes without warning. A single moment can destroy years of preparation. Strength often creates a false sense of security. It makes you think that force is enough to shape your destiny, that you can bend the world to your will just by being powerful. But real mastery is not found in domination. It is found in adaptability, the ability to adjust, to learn, to move with the changes rather than resist them. When you rely only on brute strength, you become rigid, and rigidity is dangerous because it cannot respond. When something cannot bend, it will eventually break. Think about the river. It does not challenge the mountains with force. It does not try to smash through them in one blow. Instead, it flows. It takes its time, slowly carving its path. The river wins not because it is stronger, but because it is adaptable, patient, persistent, always willing to change its course, to keep moving forward. The mountains stand firm, yet eventually the water shapes them. This is the essence of real power, not force, but flexibility. When you are rigid, in your mind or in your body, you lock yourself into one way of being. You say, "This is how I am. This is how I fight. This is how I live." And in that moment, you limit who you can become. You make yourself predictable. You make yourself fragile. Rigidity is a form of blindness. It stops you from seeing new possibilities, new strategies, new truths. But when you are fluid, you can transform. You can shift your approach according to the moment. If life requires strength, you can be firm. If life requires softness, you can be gentle. You are never confined to one identity, one method, one path. This is the highest expression of control, not overpowering life, but flowing with it, understanding it, and allowing it to guide you forward. Many people spend their lives building physical power only to discover that strength alone is not enough. Their bodies become powerful, yet their minds remain stiff. When life challenges them, through loss, failure, betrayal, or injury, they collapse. Not because they lacked muscle, but because they lacked adaptability. They depended on force, and force abandoned them when life changed shape. True control is not about holding everything tightly. That kind of grip only leads to exhaustion and fear. True control is knowing when to hold on and when to release. When you cling too hard, you close the door to growth. When you are flexible, you open yourself to new opportunities, new lessons, new perspectives. Life is always evolving, and if you refuse to evolve with it, you will be left behind. If your strength keeps you from changing, then your strength becomes your weakness. The warrior who refuses to learn is defeated by the one who continues to adapt. The rigid mind loses to the flexible mind. The insecure fighter trusts only muscle. The wise fighter trusts awareness, timing, and understanding. Strength without adaptability becomes a burden. Adaptability without awareness becomes chaos. But when you combine strength with awareness and flexibility, you become unstoppable. You move with life instead of against it. You do not try to control every moment. You respond to each one with clarity and calm. This is where true freedom begins. Be like water, fluid, humble, always learning. Water does not force its way, it simply finds a way. And because it is willing to change, water always wins in the end. 2. Strength without awareness creates blindness. Many people believe that having strength is enough. They think that if their body is powerful, they can overcome any challenge standing before them. But strength without awareness is like swinging a sword in complete darkness. You may hit your enemy, but you are just as likely to harm yourself. When you depend only on your physical power, you stop paying attention to the world around you. You rely on force, not understanding, and that makes you blind. A strong man who cannot see danger approaching is weaker than a quiet man who observes everything. Awareness is the sharpest weapon you will ever possess because it shows you what muscle cannot. It reveals hidden intentions, unseen threats, and opportunities that strength alone is too loud to notice. When you rely too much on your strength, you become confident, and confidence becomes careless. This is where most warriors fall. They stop learning, they stop watching, they stop growing. Many fighters lose not because they are weak, but because they assume their strength guarantees victory. They walk into battle believing they already won. Their arrogance makes them slow, predictable, and blind. Meanwhile, the opponent who studies, who observes, who listens, becomes dangerous. He sees openings where others see nothing. He feels what others ignore. He strikes not with force, but with precision. This is awareness, the ability to read a situation before it unfolds. Life is no different. Sometimes danger does not come in the form of an opponent. It arrives silently, disguised as an opportunity, a distraction, or a temptation. If you are not aware, you will welcome it, thinking it is harmless, only to be destroyed later. Awareness teaches you to look beyond the surface, to understand not just what something is, but what it could become. A punch you see coming cannot hurt you. A punch you ignore will knock you unconscious. Strength without awareness is like having a powerful car with no steering wheel. You can move fast, but you are headed toward disaster. Awareness is the steering wheel. It guides you. It keeps you balanced. It allows you to choose when to move, when to stop, when to attack, and when to walk away. Without awareness, your strength serves nothing. It becomes empty bravado, loud on the outside, hollow on the inside. Awareness begins with humility. You must accept that no matter how strong you are, there is always something you do not know. There is always someone who sees more, understands more, and moves smarter than you. When you acknowledge this, you stay sharp. You train not only your body, but your senses, your eyes, your intuition, your sensitivity to what others overlook. In combat, a single moment of blindness can cost you the entire fight. A powerful fighter might throw 10 strong punches, but if he cannot read his opponent's movement, timing, and intention, he will waste his energy. Meanwhile, a weaker fighter who observes carefully will strike only once, but at the perfect moment. One intelligent move is worth more than 100 blind strikes. The same truth applies to life. Awareness teaches you when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to wait, when to fight and when to walk away. Some people think walking away is weakness, but sometimes it is the greatest strength, because it means you saw what others did not. You recognized danger. You predicted the cost. You valued peace over ego. Awareness also protects you from yourself. When you feel anger rising, awareness warns you. When you feel pride growing, awareness humbles you. When fear tries to control you, awareness brings clarity. Without awareness, emotions become your master. With awareness, emotions become your tools. True strength is not the punch you throw. It is the wisdom to know when you should not throw it. Power becomes meaningful only when it is guided by understanding. The warrior who sees is always stronger than the warrior who only strikes. The one who observes wins battles before they begin, while the blind fighter loses before he even knows the fight has started. So do not worship strength alone. Seek to sharpen your awareness, your ability to see truth, to sense danger, to understand people, and to know yourself. When you combine strength with awareness, you become balanced, controlled, and powerful in the deepest sense. But when strength stands alone, it blinds you, and blindness leads to defeat. Do not fight with your body alone. Fight with your eyes, your mind, your spirit, because strength without awareness is nothing more than noise, loud, impressive, yet empty. Awareness turns your power into purpose. Be awake, be aware. Only then will your strength truly serve you. 3. The ego trap, when strength becomes your master. The most dangerous part of becoming strong is not the strength itself, but what it does to your mind. When you gain power, people begin to look at you differently. They admire you, they praise you, they fear you. And slowly, without noticing, you begin to believe that you are above others. You start to think you no longer need to learn, no longer need to listen, no longer need to grow. This is the voice of the ego, and if you let it guide you, it will destroy everything you have built. Ego is a quiet enemy. It does not attack you suddenly. It whispers gently, telling you that you are already great, that you already know enough, that you have nothing left to improve. It convinces you that you are superior. And the moment you believe that lie, you stop evolving. Strength should make you humble, but ego twists it into arrogance. It tells you that your muscles make you worthy, that your victories make you important. But true value does not come from dominance. It comes from awareness and growth. A warrior who becomes arrogant is like a cup that is already full. No new knowledge can enter. He will train only the skills he already knows. He will fight the way he has always fought. He will see the world only through his own ideas. Eventually, someone more humble, more observant, more adaptable will overtake him, not because they are stronger, but because they remain open to learning. Many great fighters have been defeated not by their opponents, but by their own egos. They believed their reputation would protect them. They believed that their past victories guaranteed future success. They walked into battle already thinking they had won, and that is why they lost. The opponent who trains with humility trains without distraction. He learns without resistance. He sees his weaknesses clearly and works to improve them. While the arrogant man thinks he has no weaknesses, the humble man grows stronger at every step. The ego trap goes deeper. When you think you are strong, you begin to measure your worth only by how much stronger you are than others. You compare constantly, needing proof that you are superior. This is slavery. You become a prisoner to other people's opinions. You chase validation. You fear defeat not because of pain, but because it threatens your identity. The ego builds a fragile image of power, one that collapses the moment life challenges it. True strength does not need to be seen. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply exists. A master does not walk into a room expecting respect. He brings respect through his presence, humility, and discipline. Ego demands. True strength serves. Ego inflates. True strength stabilizes. Ego is loud. True strength is silent. When strength becomes your master, you chase power instead of purpose. You fight to prove something instead of learning something. You act from pride instead of clarity. And pride blinds you. It stops you from noticing small mistakes. It keeps you from adapting to change. It pushes you into unnecessary conflict. Ego wants you to win at all costs, even when winning is pointless. It fuels anger, jealousy, and insecurity, all things that weaken the spirit. The greatest warriors throughout history were humble. They understood that mastery is not a destination, it is a journey without end. Every new skill leads to deeper knowledge. Every victory reveals new lessons. Every opponent, no matter how weak, can teach something. Humility keeps you open, and when you are open, you can grow endlessly. Strength should be your servant, not your master. When strength serves you, it helps you protect, guide, and build. When strength controls you, it makes you fearful, prideful, and aggressive. The strongest person is the one who can control his power, not the one who must display it. True strength is the ability to stay calm when others panic, to remain peaceful when others provoke you, to continue learning when others stop. If you allow ego to lead you, it will take you only to one place: downfall. Because ego isolates you from truth, it shields you from criticism, it convinces you that change is unnecessary. And without change, you cannot survive. Without growth, you cannot win. Without humility, you cannot see reality. To escape the ego trap, you must return to the mindset of a student. The student is curious, the student listens, the student adapts, the student does not fear being wrong because mistakes are his teachers. The master is only a master because he never stopped being a student. So stay humble. No matter how strong you become, remember that strength is not your identity. It is only a tool. Use it wisely. Do not let it define you. Do not let it blind you. The moment you think you have reached the top, you stop climbing, and when you stop climbing, you begin to fall. Humility keeps you rising. Ego makes you sink. Choose wisely. 4. The strongest arm cannot lift a weak mind. You may spend years strengthening your body, building muscles, sharpening your speed, improving your strikes. But if your mind remains weak, all that physical power will collapse in the face of true adversity. A weak mind is like a cracked foundation. No matter how beautiful the structure above it looks, it will eventually fall. Your arms can lift heavy weight, but if your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, or confusion, you will never rise to your highest potential. The world teaches you to chase physical strength because it is visible. Big muscles impress people. A powerful body looks intimidating, but what you cannot see is far more important than what you can. The mind decides whether those muscles serve you or destroy you. The mind chooses whether you react with clarity or panic. The mind determines whether you grow or stay trapped. A calm, disciplined mind can turn a simple movement into something unstoppable. Meanwhile, an undisciplined mind can turn even the strongest body into a tool of self-destruction. Physical strength has limits. It can be measured, weighed, and weakened with time. But the strength of the mind is infinite because it is not bound by muscle or age. When your mind is strong, you adapt, you endure, you rise above what would break others. A strong mind gives meaning to strength. It gives direction to power. Without it, your strength is just decoration, impressive to look at, but useless when life begins to test you. Think about a fighter who trains only his body. He may look powerful, he may punch hard, but the moment he feels fear, the moment doubt enters, his technique collapses. His heart shakes, his breath becomes unsteady, his focus disappears. Fear weakens the body faster than any blow. Doubt is heavier than any weight. If your mind cannot withstand pressure, your body will crumble under even the smallest test. Now think about a fighter with a calm and focused mind. He may not have the biggest muscles, but he is steady, he sees clearly, he breathes deeply, he studies his opponent, he chooses his moment. Because his mind is calm, his body moves with precision. Because his thoughts are focused, his actions are powerful. One clean strike from a calm mind is stronger than 10 wild strikes from a fearful one. Every battle begins in the mind. Before you face an opponent, you face yourself. Your doubts, your fears, your insecurities, these are your first enemies. If you cannot conquer them, no amount of muscle will help you. Many people lose long before the battle begins because they have already surrendered mentally. Their bodies arrive, but their spirit does not. A weak mind constantly seeks escape from pressure, from responsibility, from truth. It blames others. It becomes emotional. It reacts impulsively. When life becomes uncomfortable, the weak mind collapses, but the strong mind does not run. It stands firm. It studies the problem. It makes decisions with clarity. It remains balanced even when everything around it shakes. This is true strength, not the ability to lift heavy weight, but the ability to remain calm under heavy pressure. The strongest arm is controlled by the weakest part of you if your mind is undisciplined. A powerful fighter with no emotional control becomes dangerous to himself. Anger blinds him, pride misleads him, fear traps him. His strength becomes a weapon he cannot control. But when the mind is trained, emotions become tools, not masters. Anger transforms into focused intensity. Fear becomes awareness. Discipline turns chaos into precision. Training the mind is harder than training the body because you cannot see the results immediately. You cannot admire it in a mirror. There is no applause, but it is the only form of strength that follows you everywhere. Into conflict, into loss, into illness, into old age. The body will eventually weaken. The muscles will eventually shrink. But the mind can continue growing, sharpening, improving. It can remain powerful even when the body slows. Life will always test your mind before it tests your body. You may face situations where strength is useless, heartbreak, disappointment, betrayal, failure. These cannot be punched away. You cannot lift them off your chest with muscle. Only a strong mind can transform pain into wisdom. Only a disciplined heart can endure what would make others break. A strong mind brings patience when things move slowly. It brings courage when fear tries to control you. It brings clarity when the world becomes confusing. It brings peace when chaos surrounds you. When the mind is strong, the body becomes a willing servant, precise, calm, and effective. If you want to be truly strong, train your mind with the same discipline you use on your body. Read, reflect, observe. Sit with your thoughts. Face your fears instead of running from them. Learn to control your attention. Learn to calm yourself when the world becomes loud. Learn to hold your center even when everything around you is falling apart. The greatest victories are won not by the fist, but by the mind that guides the fist. Because the strongest arm is powerless when the mind behind it is weak. But a strong mind can make even a simple movement unstoppable. Strength of the body begins to fade. Strength of the mind becomes deeper, sharper, and more powerful with every challenge. That is the true path of the warrior. 5. Strength fades, inner power remains. No matter how strong your body becomes, it will not remain the same forever. Muscles grow, but they also weaken. Speed slows. Reflexes fade. Time is the one force no warrior can defeat. You may be in your prime today, feeling invincible, but the years will eventually place their hands on your shoulders. If your identity is built only on physical strength, then time will take everything from you. This is why the pursuit of strength alone is a dangerous path, because it does not last. What truly matters is not the power of the body, but the power of the spirit, the power of the mind, and the power of character. Many people spend their entire lives chasing physical dominance. They build their muscles like armor, believing it will protect them from life. But when the armor cracks, when age, injury, or sickness arrives, they panic, they feel lost, they feel empty, because they never trained the part of themselves that time cannot destroy. The saddest thing is not losing strength, but realizing that you never developed the qualities that matter more. Inner power, wisdom, discipline, awareness, patience, humility. does not fade with age, it deepens. When you cultivate these qualities, time becomes your ally, not your enemy. You grow richer with every experience. You see more clearly. You understand life instead of fighting against it. Even when your body weakens, your presence grows stronger. People listen to you not because of your muscles, but because of your insight, your calmness, your strength of spirit. Look at a young fighter and an old master. The young fighter moves fast, punches hard, and burns with energy. But the old master moves only when necessary, wastes nothing, and sees everything. His power is not in his body, it is in his understanding. He can end a fight with a single movement because every movement comes from awareness, not from force. He does not rely on speed or youth, he relies on truth. This is the difference between temporary strength and eternal power. Temporary strength comes from the body. Eternal power comes from the mind and spirit. You must ask yourself, what will remain when the body is gone? What will be left when your strength fades? If you have built only muscle, then when time removes it, nothing will be left. But if you have built character, wisdom, awareness, inner calm, these gifts stay with you until your final breath. Real strength is the ability to stand firm even when everything physical is taken from you. When a storm comes, muscles may tremble, but spirit endures. Physical strength can win a fight, but inner strength can win a lifetime. It can help you survive loss, heartbreak, betrayal, and failure. These battles do not care how strong your arms are. They challenge your heart. They test your spirit. When life hits you where it hurts the most, the question is not, how strong are your muscles, but how strong is your mind? Can you stay calm in chaos? Can you find clarity in confusion? Can you rebuild yourself after you fall? Can you continue walking even when everything feels heavy? These abilities, resilience, clarity, discipline, are born from inner strength. And this strength does not fade. In fact, it often becomes stronger with age because it is forged by experience, shaped by pain, strengthened by understanding. Physical strength belongs to youth. Inner strength belongs to maturity. One is loud, the other is silent. One impresses the eyes, the other touches the soul. There will come a time when your body can no longer do what it once did. But inner power does not rely on muscles. It does not depend on age. It lives in your decisions, your wisdom, your self-control. A man with inner strength can stand powerfully even in a frail body. A man without inner strength collapses even in a powerful body. Do not be afraid of aging. Be afraid of growing older without growing wiser. Because the body will weaken whether you like it or not, but the mind will only weaken if you neglect it. Train your body, yes, but do not forget to train your spirit. Feed your thoughts, learn, reflect, face your fears, build discipline. These are the muscles that never decay. The greatest tragedy is not losing physical strength. The greatest tragedy is never discovering your inner power. True mastery is becoming stronger in ways the world cannot measure. A warrior should not only know how to strike, but also how to think, how to feel, how to endure, and how to rise. Your physical strength is a temporary gift. Your inner strength is eternal. Honor what lasts more than what fades. Because when your body can no longer fight, it is your spirit that will carry you through life, quietly, steadily, powerfully. 6. Violence is not power. Control is. Many people confuse violence with power. They look at a man who throws his fists, who breaks objects, who shouts the loudest, and they say, he is strong. But I must tell you, this is not strength. This is instability wearing the mask of force. Anyone can be aggressive. Anyone can strike out of anger. Even a frightened animal will bite when cornered. Violence is easy. Control is rare. Violence is a reaction. Control is a choice. When you rely on violence to prove your strength, you reveal your weakness. You show that you have not mastered yourself. You show that your emotions rule you. A man who cannot control his anger is never in control, not of his body, not of his life, not of his destiny. He is merely a puppet pulled by his own impulses. He reacts before he thinks. He destroys without understanding. And afterward, he wonders why everything around him is broken. Relationships, opportunities, trust. Violence may make others fear you, but it will never make them respect you. The true martial artist does not train to hurt others. He trains to master himself. Every punch he practices is not meant for destruction, but for discipline. Every kick he learns teaches him not how to kill, but how to control. Power is not about what you can do to someone. It is about what you can prevent within yourself. A violent man is dangerous to others. An uncontrolled man is even more dangerous to himself. When you enter a conflict, the strongest person is not the one who throws the first punch. It is the one who can walk away without feeling the need to prove anything. People think walking away is weakness. They think avoiding a fight means you are afraid. But in truth, walking away requires more courage than fighting. It requires self-respect, patience, and clarity. It means you know who you are. You do not need the world's approval. You do not need to win a battle to validate your existence. You are already whole from within. Anger makes you blind. It narrows your vision. It traps you inside a moment, forcing you to forget everything else. Your principles, your consequences, your future. When you allow anger to dominate you, you lose control of yourself. You become a weapon with no guidance. Even if you win the fight, you lose something greater, your peace, your wisdom, your dignity. Control, however, keeps your vision wide open. It allows you to respond rather than react. It gives you space to choose the best action, not just the fastest one. Control allows you to measure the situation, to decide whether a battle is worth fighting or not. A master seeks victory without conflict. He does not desire harm. He does not chase confrontation. He knows that true power lies in protecting, not destroying. A sword is only as noble as the hand that holds it. In the hands of a wild man, it spills blood without purpose. In the hands of a master, it remains sheathed unless needed. Power must be paired with responsibility, wisdom, and timing. Without these, it becomes chaos. You must understand, power is not about domination. Power is about direction. It is not about defeating others, but about overcoming yourself. Your greatest opponent is not outside. It is your own impatience, fear, insecurity, and anger. If you defeat these, you will have no enemies left. A violent man wants to win. A powerful man wants to understand. Understanding makes you flexible. Flexibility makes you invincible. Violence is a single note. Control is a full symphony. Control gives you options. Control lets you transform an opponent's strength into your advantage. Control teaches you when to attack and when not to, when to speak and when to remain silent. This is the essence of true martial arts, not a display of force, but a dance of awareness. When others provoke you, they are testing your discipline, not your strength. If you react immediately, you fail. If you respond wisely, you win. Sometimes the greatest victory is not striking back, but staying centered. The world will constantly send challenges to disturb your balance. The question is not whether you can fight them, but whether you can remain calm in their presence. A warrior who cannot control himself will never master anything. He will always be a slave to emotion. When pride whispers, he will follow. When anger screams, he will obey. When fear shakes, he will surrender. Freedom begins when you learn to command yourself, when you can feel anger rise and still remain calm, when you can sense fear and still stand tall, when you can face insult without losing your dignity, then you are truly powerful. The strongest man is the one who carries a sword and chooses never to draw it. He He does not need to prove his strength because he knows it. He does not need to frighten others because he is at peace with himself. His presence alone is enough to create respect. His silence is louder than another's shouting. His calmness is deeper than another's violence. The martial way is not about conquering others. It is about conquering your lower nature. It is about refining your character so deeply that no external force can shake the peace within you. When power is paired with compassion, wisdom, humility, and patience, it becomes a gift. When power is driven by pride, fear, or insecurity, it becomes a curse. You must learn to hold your power like still water, smooth, calm, deep. When disturbed, it does not splash wildly, it simply returns to stillness. Violence is the storm, control is the lake. A storm is loud, chaotic, destructive. A lake reflects the sky, holds its depth, and nourishes life. The world will always try to provoke you, to make you prove yourself, to pull you into conflict. But remember, you do not owe anyone your anger. You do not owe anyone your violence. Your strength is yours to protect, not theirs to test. Real power is silent. Real power is steady. Real power is unseen until absolutely necessary. A tiger does not roar to prove itself. It knows its strength. Only the insecure need to show off. A man who truly knows his power has nothing to prove. He carries himself with grace. So do not waste your strength on unnecessary conflict. Do not let your emotions drag you into battles that do not matter. Use your strength to build, to protect, to guide. When you master your power, you master your life. When you master your anger, you master your destiny. Violence makes noise. Control makes history. 7, the highest form of strength is emptiness. Most people believe strength comes from being full of power, full of knowledge, full of confidence, full of pride. But this is only half the truth. The greatest strength a person can possess is not found in accumulation, but in emptiness. This idea may seem strange at first, yet it holds the deepest wisdom. When your mind is full of opinions, beliefs, ego, tension, fear, you leave no space for clarity. A full cup cannot receive new water. A full mind cannot learn, cannot adapt, cannot transform. You must understand, emptiness is not the absence of strength, it is the source of it. When you empty your mind of unnecessary thoughts, you remove the clouds that block your inner sky. You uncover a level of awareness, intuition, and adaptability that cannot be reached through force or intellect alone. Emptiness is not a weakness, it is pure potential. Open, flexible, free. When you cling to identity, I am strong, I am powerful, I am superior, I am right, you trap yourself. You become rigid. You limit who you can be and how far you can grow. You begin to defend your old self, even when it no longer serves you. But when you embrace emptiness, you are not limited by who you were yesterday. You can become whatever the moment requires. You can change shape. You can learn. You can evolve. A vessel that is empty can hold anything. A vessel that is full can hold nothing. People fear emptiness because it feels like letting go of control, letting go of certainty, letting go of identity. But consider this, a sword is powerful not because it is decorated or heavy, but because its blade is clear and empty of resistance. It cuts cleanly because nothing blocks it. In the same way, your mind becomes powerful when it is free from the noise of ego, opinions, and fear. When you are empty, you do not hesitate, you do not doubt. You act with natural precision. Think of water. Its strength lies in its emptiness. It has no fixed shape. Put it in a cup, it becomes the cup. Pour it into a river, it becomes the river. Freeze it, it becomes ice. Heat it, it becomes steam. It adapts effortlessly. Because it has no form of its own, it can become anything. This is ultimate freedom. And with this freedom comes unstoppable strength. Nothing can break water because water does not resist. It yields, and in yielding, it triumphs. In martial arts, the body moves. But it is the empty mind that makes every movement meaningful. If your mind is crowded by emotion, anger, fear, pride, you cannot react naturally. Your movements become stiff, predictable, heavy. But when your mind is empty, your body responds with perfect timing. You do not think about what to do. You simply do. You are present. You are awake. You are aware of everything without being attached to anything. The greatest fighters do not enter battle with anger or tension. They enter with stillness. Their power comes not from aggression, but from calm. They are already empty inside, so nothing can disturb them. No provocation can control them. No opponent can surprise them. They see everything because they are not blinded by their own thoughts. This is the purest form of strength, the power to remain unmoved, no matter what comes. Emptiness also allows you to let go of the past. Many people carry regrets, failures, or trauma like heavy stones in their hearts. These weights drain their energy and distort their vision. But when you learn to release the past, to empty yourself, you regain your lightness. You move forward without fear. You begin to experience life directly, not through the filter of old pain. This is true freedom, to stand in the present moment, unburdened, alive. Likewise, emptiness frees you from the future. When you are constantly worried about what will happen, you lose the power to act fully in the present. The mind becomes noisy, restless, anxious. But when you empty yourself of expectation, you stop living in illusion. You stop fighting fantasies. You do not cling to outcomes. You focus only on the path. And paradoxically, this is what allows you to reach your destination more effectively. With an empty mind, you give your best without fear of the result. Do not mistake emptiness for passivity. It is not laziness or indifference. Emptiness is awareness without attachment. It is action without tension. It is strength without struggle. When you are empty, you do what must be done with clarity. You speak with honesty. You move with precision. You fight when necessary. But you do not carry the burden of pride or fear along with you. You are free. A mind filled with pride cannot learn. A mind filled with fear cannot see. A mind filled with desire cannot rest. But an empty mind can do all things, learn, see, act, and rest without resistance. It is only when you stop trying to be strong that you realize how strong you truly are. The greatest masters are those who appear simple, quiet, ordinary. They do not boast. They do not show off. Their power is hidden because it does not need to be displayed. It simply exists like the silent depth of an ocean. This depth comes from emptiness. The surface may look still, but beneath lies an unimaginable force. When you let go of your need to prove, you become unshakable. When you let go of your need to defend, you become invincible. No one can attack what is not there. No one can harm an ego you have released. Emptiness removes targets from your spirit. It makes you transparent to negativity, untouchable by insult, undefeated by circumstance. True strength is not holding on. True strength is letting go of fear, letting go of anger, letting go of pride, letting go of the illusion of control. When your hands are empty, they can grasp anything. When your mind is empty, it can understand everything. To be empty is to be available to learn, to grow, to transform, to respond, to become. Emptiness is the doorway to all possibility. When you embrace it, you no longer fight life. You move with it. You no longer cling to identity. You become endless. A full cup can serve only one purpose. An empty cup can serve infinite purposes. So do not fear emptiness. Seek it, nurture it, treasure it, because in emptiness you find your true power, free, flexible, and unstoppable. Be empty, my friend. Only then can you become everything. Listen closely. All your life, the world taught you that strength is the answer. That if your body is powerful, if your fists are heavy, if your presence is loud, you will be safe. But now you understand. Physical strength alone is a fragile shield. It can fail, it can vanish, it can betray you when life tests you in ways muscle cannot prepare you for. The truth is simple. Strength without wisdom becomes a trap. Strength without awareness becomes blindness. Strength without humility becomes arrogance. And strength without inner power becomes nothing more than a temporary illusion. You believed strength would set you free, but it can enslave you. You chase bigger muscles, harder punches, stronger presence, only to find that the challenges life gives you are not made of flesh. Your greatest battles are fought in silence, inside your own heart and mind. Fear, doubt, ego, insecurity, these are the true enemies. And no amount of muscle can defeat them. Only inner power can. What is the real path then? It is not to abandon strength, but to understand it. Strength is a tool, not a master. It must serve your mind, not replace it. A sword is only useful in the hands of someone who knows when not to swing it. In the same way, true power lies not in force, but in the ability to control force. It lies not in conquering others, but in conquering yourself. When you learn to guide your strength with awareness, with humility, with emotional discipline, then it becomes real. It becomes alive. Do not cling to strength as the foundation of your identity. If you build your life upon muscle, then time will take your foundation away. But if you build your life upon inner wisdom, the strength of your spirit, the clarity of your mind, the calmness of your heart, then nothing can destroy it. Not age, not loss, not failure, not fear. Inner power is the only strength that does not fade. It only deepens. The strongest warrior is not the one who stands tallest. It is the one who bows his head to learn. It is the one who is not owned by anger. It is the one who can walk away from the battle because he has already won within. It is the one who sees without being blinded by ego, who fights without hatred, who moves without tension, who loves without fear. This is mastery. To be unshaken by the storms of life because your roots grow deep within. The highest state of strength is emptiness. When you empty your mind, you allow life to flow through you without resistance. You become adaptable, fluid, like water. You are not held back by old beliefs, by fear, by pride. You respond to every moment with clarity, without hesitation. You become limitless. A full cup cannot receive more. But when you remain empty, you can hold the wisdom of the world. This is true freedom. So I tell you now, do not be deceived by the illusion of strength. Do not mistake noise for power or aggression for courage. Look inward. Train your body, yes, but train your mind more. Sharpen your awareness. Quiet your ego. Discipline your emotions. Empty yourself of what you think you know. Only then will you begin to see clearly. The path to real strength is not outside. It is within. When your heart is still, when your mind is empty, when your spirit is awake, you become unstoppable. No force can shake you. No loss can break you. No fear can bind you. You move freely, think clearly, and live truthfully. Strength is not what you show, it is what you carry inside. Control is not what you force, it is what you allow. Power is not what you take, it is what you become. Be like water, silent, flexible, deep, unbreakable. When your body fades, your inner strength will remain. When the world shifts, your awareness will guide you. When life challenges you, your calmness will protect you. And when your final moment arrives, you will not cling to what you were. You will simply flow, free, fearless, and at peace, because you mastered the greatest battle of all. You mastered yourself. Be empty, my friend. Only then will you know what true strength really is.